お前は一体何なんだ。友達だ。What's going on, guys? This is Fort Misery Gaming here for an Illusion Connect overview video. We got a super special guest, the man who designs the tier list for the game, Nico Play Nick. Welcome to the channel, man.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
So today we are going to be going over the first of the new characters that we're going to be having come to the game, which is Brooke. So we're going to get into that in just a second. All right.
Okay, so let's get right into it with Brooke. So we're just gonna be looking at the translation on a Korean site, me and Fort Misery Gaming, and we're gonna look over her skills, look over her lens upgrade, look over what kind of class she is, and whether or not she's even worth pulling. Because as we all know, select summons are really expensive, so we want to make sure we're really spending them wisely. So let's get right into it. Do you want to go over cup size and her age and all that, or do you want to just skip that?
If you want to, that's cool, but
Nah, I think I'm good. So I don't know how much you know about her, but she has like a really interesting passive, and that's kind of, I guess, dictate if she's kind of be good or not. So I'm just gonna read it out loud here. Whenever receiving a healing effect, there's a 20% chance to cast a special move, but only half the damage is applied. So her special move is basically her unique. That's the way it's translating into her unique, and it does 240 damage. So it's gonna translate to half of that, which would be 120 in a vertical row. So it's all the front slots, and a 30% damage increase if it's a guardian class on the field. So what do you think of that?
So like the 120%, that's almost on par as a normal attack, basically, right?
Yes,
Like,
it's probably actually worse.
Oh, it's actually worse than a normal attack.
Yeah, I think I have some normal attacks on like stuff like Kasumi or stuff that are higher than that. They're like 148 or something like that.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So, yeah, I mean, I know there's going to be Ming coming out, which could potentially make her a little better, from what I've heard from you about how she works. But
Yeah.
with how it feels like Anna's like the only like super amazing healer in the game that's like super good for comps. So I kind of feel her passive is like almost makes her special worse.
Yeah, it does, and like I guess the kicker here, because they've already tested her a bunch in KR, is that it only works if she's been damaged. So she has to tank because if she's full health, the heal doesn't proc that passive.
So that you can actually use that to your advantage, I guess, right?
Yeah, but then it just makes it so why was she given the passive to begin with if you don't want her to get hit? So it's kind of this weird thing where the passive's actually not that good at all. And it also empties your rage bar. So if you're filling up your rage bar, and you're almost about to do a full unique, if that procs, you lose your whole rage bar. It empties out.
Yeah, that's super bad.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So her passive is not the best. It kind of just plays against her, unfortunately. We were talking before we did the video, and you were saying how like if it like did something a sort of debuff, maybe silence stun something, that could make up for the lack of damage. But it's just really weak. I don't know if it gets much better with the lens upgrade. We can look at this super quick. Sort of 4-star lens upgrade always, every unit's 4-star lens upgrade always translates to the unique. So it says it's a 70% factor and basic HP 20%. So I think that would be 70% for the guardian class. Then is basically what they're saying there.
Oh, so you only okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense because factor is probably faction added is probably the translation that we're looking at.
Yeah.
So super niche 4-star upgrade then.
Yes, correct. That's super niche. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, like you said, super niche. Unless you're countering guardians and stuff, and there's not really much of a. And again, if the leader is a guardian, it's kind of useless, right? Because the guardians would have to be in the front slot for it to even work. So you can't even use it for crusade if it's a guardian leader. I mean, I guess you can because if there's no one blocking, it should target the leader. But yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much it. So her passive is really bad. Her special is not that great either. It's kind of funny. Her special does more damage than her unique. It does 180% damage. All enemies in a column. And
at least it is column. Like communities is, so at least that's semi decent.
Yeah, so she does kind of like a T, right? So her unique is a row full in the front slot, and then column, yeah, like Kasumi does. And then at 6 star, that special ends up doing so. Basically, the special is actually kind of good at 6 star. Random ally acquires a shield with a maximum HP of 10%. And special aircraft activation, which is a bad translation, it just means your chance of using special again becomes added 15%. But a 10% HP shield, I mean, it's Ait, it's nothing special. It's kind of like Karaya. Instead of Karaya giving it to herself, the Brooke is just giving it to somebody else.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Karai also does do for the entire row, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, just special wise, Karaya's special only gives it to herself, but yeah, her unique does give it to the entire row.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Right.
Yeah, because Brooke's passive gives a random shield to an ally for 10% HP. So, like, that part alone can be decent, but, like, if we're looking at it just face value right here, this unit really, really sucks until she gets 6 star, and even then she just becomes okay because of that special.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like she's like trying to be like a severely worse version of Kasumi, like trying to do row and column damage, but then like there's so many things that like she does this, but then it has a counterproductive thing happening because of this. Like it's like a whole X, Y, and Z trade-off situation where it's like you probably were better off just giving her like some kind of generic passive that didn't do this weird thing that lowered your damage, or giving her something that like if she added a cleanse or if she added some kind of debuff or something like that, I could see more value in her. She like could fit into certain team comp.
Yeah.
The way she stands now, unless they buff her in global, I don't feel she's worth building, to be honest.
No, I agree with you 100%. I don't think she's worth building at all. And even her passive lens upgrade is nothing spectacular. It's a 5% activation rate for that passive. So just actually when you 5 star her, she becomes low-key kind of worse because you have a higher chance of proccing that really bad passive.
Oh yeah, it's not even a guarantee that you're going to do the special. It's only even then at 5 star a 25% chance.
Yeah, so you kind of don't want it to happen. So you want it. So basically, you don't want it to happen when you're high rage. You want it to happen when you barely have any rage to basically double down on.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you want it to happen. But for all those stars, the perfectly aligned that you're hurt, that you're really low rage, and then it happens, and then you hit the chance. Again, is like you're playing with so many different RNG factors like happening at once that it's really hard to make that happen. And that's if you don't get one hit by any unit that hits you to begin with. So like I don't know, she's not really the best thing. If you compare it to like Phoebe, Amon, Vivian, who like as light units like provides so much. Like one of them provides a res and a buff. Vivian like lowers the cost to summon and can tank really well. And then you look at like Phoebe that has AoE, defense down, can cast invincibility and can res herself. Like I don't know what this unit. Like I really don't know what this unit's doing. It's not doing much.
She doesn't really synergize with her class, and then she doesn't like compete on an SSR level with either of the other good SSR angels. So
no, she doesn't.
Yeah, like that's like I've seen your tier list on Vivian, and I'm just like honestly, I feel like she's the most underrated, like super useful SSR. I get that she's like really only good in like one particular team comp, but the value that like Vivian to that particular team comp is so massive when you start with her is like absolutely bonkers. Like, and I feel this unit does not come close to doing anything like that or being just like a no matter what Phoebe is good everywhere sort of unit. And she doesn't give me that feeling at all from either one of those cases in that class.
Yeah, I agree. And like another thing that people don't take into account when I like rank stuff on a tier list, is that there's so many things to factor in. So like let's say you look at Brooke and then let's say somebody says, "Oh, no, you're wrong. Brooke is really, really good. She's so amazing. I use her. Wow, But what you're not considering is that Brooke, if you use Brooke, it locks another slot on your team already at the start of the game. So if you want to use her passive, you need a healer. So that locks in a slot that if you weren't planning to run a healer, now that sucks for you, you are. If you don't have Anna, well, that's going to really suck for you. Because there's not that many amazing healers.
Oh, well, exactly what we were talking about a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
You run into that situation right now in the game. I mean, maybe she will be good later down the road, but it definitely doesn't it's definitely not like a Kasumi or Anahype banner where it's like you want to try to 5-star them on the first week that they come out to the game
Yeah.
with their rate ups, or like Maki or anything. Like everyone wanted to go crazy for Maki because she's the only awakened character right now.
Yeah.
So she definitely doesn't bring that kind of hypeness to it. But I do want to go over the other characters in her banner just so people know real quick what they can be seen off banner wise.
Yep.
So she is going to have Selena, Percy, and Miyuki. So me and you talked a little bit off camera about the other rate up characters.
Mhm.
And once again, we kind of were like in the same situation. Like maybe just do 2 polls, just because 2 polls for a guarantee SSR is good value overall.
Yep.
But Miyuki, everyone has at least 2 if they picked her for the second week, and then Selena just had a lot of rate ups. Like she had the regular rate up banner, and then she was also on wasn't 2 select banners recently.
Yeah, I know she was on Maki, on something else. I'm pretty sure. She may
she
have been on
on,
Anna banner. Was she on Anna banner? Well, no, she had her own rate up banner, right? She had a.
Wasn't she?
She was on a Selena something else banner. Like it was actually, I think she was on a dual rate up banner. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she had one. So she was on. She was featured on Maki, and then she had one of those dual ones, where she was maybe like with like Fenibith or like Yuffie or. Oh, I think it may have been Yuffie Selena. Yeah, that's what it was. I think.
Yeah, Yuffie Selena. Yeah, it was Yuffie Selena, and then it was. Or no, it was Fenibeth Selena.
Okay, Yuffie Vivian.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she's been featured a lot, so you may have a few copies. Percy is like okay to have because the more copy of Percy's you get, the easier time you're gonna have to awaken her when her awakening gets released. So because that's like 240 shards you need after you start her just to awaken her. So that's something to keep in mind. That dupes her Hersey is nice, but like I wouldn't go like I'm only pulling 2 on this banner, and if I don't pull Brooke, I'm probably just gonna say oh screw it. I'm skipping Brooke because
I'm gonna be the same way. I'm hoping I can get her 1 pull like I did in the anime.
Yeah. Hopefully as well. And also like just a little like tad bit for people to know. There's a few other things that people might argue to say she's good. Lifesteal apparently doesn't work. That doesn't count the proc her passive. So anything like that doesn't work. It has to be straight up a heal for it to work. And like it doesn't work at full health either. So if you're full health and you try to proc it, it's not gonna work. So she has to be hurt, and it can't be anything else but a heal. So
that's other things going against her, unfortunately.
Yeah, so if she was full health and you could just keep doing it over and over and over again, like multiple times in a row, then that's a different story. That could have been potentially very good. And you just hide her in the back and spam healers, and then just like get her to like Gatling gun her ability nonstop. That could have been pretty cool, but as it stands right now.
I mean, that would be a very useful ability to be able to trigger multiple column damage on mobs. To clear out mobs and stuff like that. But yeah, the way she works is just hard to trigger. It's only a 25% chance even at 5-star, and then the damage decrease is pretty like a 50% decrease, so it's very massive.
Yep. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I love her design, but yeah, that's really unfortunate because she's not that good.
So that's like kind of a big yikes from the company standpoint of like why they designed her that way, because like for one, they did a whole live stream about her and Ming, and then it's like this is the first actual new character that wasn't in the game.
No, that was Jemmy. This was in the game. Well, I mean, sorry, this was in the KR in Taiwan already. That was actually when they announced global. These were the latest characters that came out in Taiwan. Was Ming and Brooke.
But in KR they weren't initially in the game either, right?
No, I think they're giving us the newer units first. I don't know why, but they're giving us some of the newer units first. So it's kind of changing up the global meta a bit since we're not going through the same patterns that the other versions. Because I think they only got this 2 months in on KR, and we're getting it like right away.
Okay, we're getting it like a month early.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe they did. I don't know 100%. So, but either way, it's kind of cool that we're getting this right away. But not that good. So yeah.
I'm looking at the other select banner timelines. We still have in JP it's called or KR it's called Natia. We have Alina, and then we have Astaroth as the other select banners, and then the new ones are Taka and Okuni. Those are the ones we haven't had yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't have Astaroth yet, because you were able to pull her on day 1 on soft launch. There was a bug that let you pull her right away. Oh. I actually have a copy.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, But it's so weird that I thought that was gonna be the first unit that was gonna come out just because she was already in the banner. But
Right.
apparently not. So I guess they're saving her for another release. But Astaroth is another one of those garbage units that don't get baited in by that one
Oh
either. She's really bad.
god.
I'm not gonna get
Yeah,
into that
she
one.
got a really cool design too. She actually has like a very Halloween vibe too, just like Jemmy does. That's funny.
Yeah. I thought she was gonna be for Halloween. But honestly the best unit we're getting for the foreseeable future, unless they release a brand new unit in Taiwan and KR, and they happen to release it early for us, is gonna be Jemmy. Jemmy is like the best thing we're getting for the foreseeable. All
Oh,
the
but
other units
she's
are not
already
gonna be that
gone.
OP.
You can't even get her in global.
Sorry?
Jemmy is like she's not in the Radiant
No.
summons,
So
and
if
then
you
she's
missed it, you
not.
missed.
Yeah, so I only got her to 4-star, so I have to Arcana her slowly.
Yeah. There is a good tank coming out, a decent tank coming out. I forget his name, but he should be hopefully coming out soon. And we do get some, I think there's one more good sword coming out. Some other decent okay one. Um coming soonish, I would assume. They have it in KR, so I'm assuming those
Okay,
are next. But besides that, I don't
so
think a lot of them are that like amazing. They're maybe all averaging around A and S tier, probably.
okay, so that definitely means for new players that are starting the game that haven't gotten to Kasumi or Anna, use all your tickets on those
Yeah,
characters.
yeah, basically, yeah. Like if you miss Jemmy, like Kasumi is still your best bet for pulling. Like I wouldn't stress too much about the new units coming out. It's nothing
Yeah,
unless like it's again if you're running a sort comp, there may be one or two that comes out that will just fit well in the comp that you'd want to put in because there's still like one or two bad sorts that people might be using on a team. Like I don't think Fenibit's that good, and people still run her, so like a Fenibith replacement could come up. But besides that, there's not really that many amazing units besides the tank unit I said, who's going to be apparently really good. But again, if you're not running Spirit Healer, then there's not really much use to pull for a tank. We'll see what
right.
happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it on Brooke, and I guess I'll probably go over Ming tomorrow or when her banner comes out, something like that. But for now, Brooke's going to be the first
Yeah,
banner
we should
that comes
definitely
out.
do that.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
down.
that'll be fun to do that again for sure.
Yep.
So I was just like, oh man, I don't know where to find the info, and I messaged you, and you're just like, oh, we can do this together. And I was like, hell yeah, man, that sounds like a great idea. So, but thank you for letting me come on with you for sure, and hopefully the video was helpful to you guys. If you guys have not heard of Nico Plays Nick, make sure you guys subscribe to him. I'm going to leave his channel in the description below. Like I said, he puts in a lot of work for the game, doing the tier lists, analyzing units to help you guys out to spend resources wisely. So
and
definitely show him some support down there.
And for anybody that doesn't know Fort Misery Gaming, go check him out as well. It's going to be in my description below, so check him out as well. And this is our video on Brooke.
All right, guys, have a good day. We'll see you all in the next one.